the company that rewrote the rules of control. Microsoft didn't win the future. It designed a world where leaving became almost impossible. By the late 1980s, the PC revolution had escaped its creators. IBM no longer controlled the system. Manufacturers were multiplying, clones were racing across the globe, computers were getting cheaper, more powerful, more common. To most companies, this looked like a war. To Microsoft, it looked like something far more valuable. A map. Because when every machine starts to look the same, the only thing that truly matters is what every machine depends on. And Microsoft was sitting exactly there, quietly, invisibly, underneath the entire industry. Microsoft didn't build towers, it built bridges. Between hardware and user, between developer and customer, between manufacturer and market, it existed in the space everyone had to cross. And that position revealed a simple, dangerous truth. If you control the middle, you don't need to own the edges. PC makers could fight over price. Developers could fight over features. Users could fight over brands. But all of them needed the same foundation. And Microsoft became that foundation. Not a loud empire, a quiet dependency. Power doesn't announce itself, it installs itself. Most companies sold things you could point at. Microsoft sold access. PC manufacturers didn't buy Windows. They asked for the right to ship it, and that changed everything. A sale ends, a license repeats. Every new model, every new shipment, every new country. The relationship never closed. The question stopped being, do we want Microsoft? It became, what happens if we don't have it? And in a world where the best software, the biggest clients, and the largest markets expected Windows, the answer was always the same. You disappear. Here's the genius of the system. Microsoft didn't need to punish anyone. The ecosystem did it for them. A PC without Windows wasn't rebellious. It was risky. IT departments avoided it. Schools ignored it. Businesses didn't trust it. Not because Microsoft told them to, but because everything else they used was built around Windows. So even manufacturers who disliked the terms signed, not out of loyalty, out of survival. The strongest lock isn't a contract, it's a standard. Windows stopped being just an operating system. It became a platform for expansion. File managers, networking tools, media players, browsers, office software. Every addition wasn't just a feature, it was a land grab. If a tool came with Windows, competitors weren't just fighting a rival, they were fighting a default. And defaults are powerful, because most users don't choose what's best. They keep what's already there. Markets didn't collapse overnight. They faded slowly, one pre-installed icon at a time. Microsoft rarely slammed doors, it tilted floors. Drivers worked more smoothly. A PIS felt more natural. Formats integrated more cleanly. Nothing that looked like a barrier. Just enough inconvenience to make alternatives feel slightly worse. And in technology, slightly worse is often a death sentence. Developers followed the easiest path. Manufacturers followed the safest bet. Users followed what felt familiar. The system reinforced itself. You don't have to stop people from leaving. You just have to make staying easier. This was the real transformation. Windows stopped being a product. It became a set of rules. What software could exist? What hardware could succeed? What users came to expect? Every technical choice became a market decision. A file format wasn't just a format. It was a gate. An update wasn't just an improvement. It was a shift in power. The operating system faded into the background, and when systems become invisible, they become permanent. The most powerful part of the strategy wasn't technical, it was psychological. Students learned Windows in school, employees trained on it at work. Developers built their careers around it. The platform wasn't just installed on computers, it was installed in people. And when a system lives inside habits, replacing it feels like replacing part of your own skill set. The cost isn't money, it's identity. The deepest lock isn't in machines, it's in minds. What Microsoft built didn't stay unique. Others studied it, mobile platforms copied it, app stores refined it, cloud ecosystems expanded it. The idea traveled: don't own the device. Own the layer every device depends on. Don't fight for customers. Design the system that decides what customers can choose. Microsoft didn't just win a market, it wrote a manual for the digital age. By the time regulators stepped in, the system wasn't just economic, it was cultural. Businesses were standardized, governments were standardized, global supply chains were standardized. Unwinding it wasn't like breaking up a company, it was like trying to change a language everyone already spoke. Even critics depended on it. Even rivals built around it. The system had grown roots. When everyone depends on something, no one can easily challenge it. IBM had built monuments, mainframes, factories, physical dominance. Microsoft built infrastructure, digital roads that everyone had to travel. Anyone could build a computer, anyone could sell a device. But if you wanted software to run, if you wanted customers to feel safe, if you wanted developers to care, you needed access to the roads, and Microsoft collected tolls at every crossing. This is where the age truly turned. Before this, power lived in things you could touch: machines, factories, steel and silicon. After this, power lived in things you couldn't see: standards, defaults, compatibility. The future wasn't owned by whoever built the best device. It was owned by whoever decided how all devices had to behave. IBM left a door open. The world walked through it. Microsoft didn't just close the door, it redesigned the building so there were no obvious exits. Every hallway led back to the same center. Every path reinforced the same system. Not a cage, a maze. Microsoft didn't become the face of the digital world. It became its structure. And structures don't argue. They don't persuade. They don't compete. They simply exist. Until everything else has to adapt around them. This is how software became control. If you want to see where it all began,